Good morning, everyone. Let us start this session. So this is the lecture number 3 of Dynamics of Machinery. During the last lecture, we have seen the basic concepts for the vibration. So what is a periodic or periodic motion? Stiffness, then the concept of spring energy. Then we have seen the amplitude, time period, and frequency. Then types of vibrations. So first is the depending on the damping, damp and undamped vibration. Then second is depending on the excitation, that is a free and force vibration. And third, it was depending on the direction of motion. Okay. So what are the types of vibrations depending on the direction of motion? So first one is the longitudinal vibration, then transverse vibration, and the torsional vibration. Okay. So what is meaning of transverse vibration, longitudinal vibration? So if the axis of the system and the direction of motion for the mass both are collinear, then that vibration, this is called as longitudinal vibration. So for the longitudinal vibration, the simple example is spring mass system. So this is simple spring mass system. So if you displace this mass by applying some force, which is F in the downward direction, okay, then this mass will vibrate in this direction only, okay. So this is the bottom extreme position and this is the top extreme position. So this is the direction for the vibration, okay, and this vibration, it is along this axis of that complete system. So this is called as longitudinal vibration, okay. What is transverse vibration? The direction of vibration for the mass, so this is the direction of vibration, is perpendicular to the axis of that system. So if this is the system or this axis represent the complete system, okay, and this is the direction of the vibration of the mass within that system. So both are perpendicular. So this is called as transverse vibration. So example we can take for the transverse vibration. So it is the cantilever beam. So cantilever beam is supported at this end. And suppose its free end, it carries one mass. So this is the M, okay. Now this cantilever beam, it will vibrate in this direction. So if you observe this system, then you cannot observe this spring element directly, okay. So for this system, the spring element is directly given, okay, but here you cannot observe the spring element, but this elasticity is provided by this beam, okay. So this beam has some elasticity and that will provide this spring element to the system. Now this mass, if we displace by applying some force F, then it will vibrate in this direction. So this cantilever beam, it will bend like this, and this is the displaced position, and other side, this is the displaced position, okay. So this mass, it will vibrate continuously in this direction. So this direction is perpendicular to the axis for that system, and this is called as a transverse vibration, okay. So second example we can take for the transverse vibration, it is the pendulum. So for the pendulum, generally we do not refer this as a vibration, so it is an oscillation. So this is the equilibrium position for the pendulum. So this is the mass m, and this is the axis of that system, okay, in the equilibrium position. So if we displace this mass like this, then it will have tendency to oscillate in this direction, okay. So this direction we can treat as a perpendicular direction like this. So for very small angle theta, this curve, it will appear as a straight line, okay. So as theta, it tends to 0, okay. So this curvature, it will become a straight line. So for such oscillation, the vibration or the oscillation, it will become a transverse vibration, okay. And the last one, it is the torsional vibration. So such type of vibration, these are experienced in the rotating system, okay. So in the rotating system, all the shafts which carries the flywheel or the turbines or any other mass, and if the shaft is rotating at very high speed, then there is a possibility of the torsional vibration, okay. So you must have studied this concept, torsion, in the strength of material. So basically it is a twisting. So if you take the shaft which is fixed at one end, okay, and if you apply the torque or moment at the free end, then it will deform so this is the twisting, okay, by very small angle theta. And if you release the force, that means if you release this torque, then it will vibrate in this direction, okay. So such direction, this is called as a torsional vibration. So generally for the torsional vibration, the system which is represented in this subject will be like this. So this is the shaft. So this is just a simplified model of the actual system. So actual system, it can be a flywheel, shaft with flywheel, shaft with turbine, okay. So this is the shaft. It is fixed at one end so that we can create the torsion. Other end, that is a free end, it will carry some mass. So this mass, this will be a flywheel. So generally we take this as a disc only, that is a circular disc, okay. So this disc, it will have some mass moment of inertia. Okay. So if we rotate this disc by applying some torque, then this shaft, it will undergo the torsion, okay. And if you release that torque from that disc, then that disc will vibrate about the equilibrium axis, okay. So this is called as a torsion. So let us see this transverse vibration and the longitudinal vibration with one example. So here the system shown is, so one disc or one mass is supported by using 4 cables, okay. and these cables, they are connected to the fixed support. Okay. So what is torsional vibration? So torsional vibration means if you provide some torque to this mass, okay, then this system will have some tendency to oscillate in the perpendicular direction or in the rotational direction. Okay. So you can see here. So this oscillation, this is called as a torsional oscillation or torsional vibration. So here the complete system is twisting about the mean equilibrium axis. So all the rotating systems like shafts, they are subjected to such type of oscillation during their operation. So this is the example of the transverse vibration. So basically the given system, it is the concrete tower. So basically it is the vertical water tank. So such type of system, it is subjected to transverse vibration due to wind force. So you can see here, this mass of the system is vibrating about the perpendicular axis, that is axis of the system. So this will become the transverse vibration. Okay. So basically this system is vibrating like an cantilever beam. Now we will see the concept of the simple harmonic motion. So what is simple harmonic motion? So it is the oscillatory motion with the constant amplitude. Okay. So this is called as a simple harmonic motion. So what is the equation of simple harmonic motion and what is analogy between the rotational motion and the reciprocating motion? Okay. So here on the graph, you can see one waveform. So this waveform, it represents one vibratory system. So this will be the displacement of the mass during the vibration. Okay. So if we consider a simple spring mass system, so like this, and if you draw one horizontal line from the mean position and this vertical line, okay, so this vertical line, it will represent the axis of the displacement, okay, and this axis, it will represent the time axis. So if the mass is oscillating in this direction, then we will get different points for the displacement on this y-axis, okay, with respect to time. So initially mass will start from this point. If the initial movement, it is in the downward direction, then we will get the waveform like this. And this cycle will repeat continuously, okay. And for these cycles, if this maximum displacement, it remain constant with respect to time for the infinite time, as long as the system is oscillating, okay. So this type of waveform, we will call this as a simple harmonic motion, okay. So it is the oscillatory motion with the constant amplitude, okay. So what is the equation of simple harmonic motion? Because this equation we will use every time we will derive the equation for the natural frequency of any given physical system, that is a physical vibratory system. Okay, and therefore it is most important equation in the vibration, that is the equation of simple harmonic motion. Okay, you must have derived this equation in your 12th physics. Okay, so this is just an division for the simple harmonic motion. So if you observe this waveform, so suppose initial displacement, it is in the upward direction. Okay, so just observe this displacement. So it is a purely sine wave. Okay, so from this waveform, we can directly predict the given waveform, it will represent a sine wave. Okay, because at sine 0, we will get the 0 displacement. Okay, at sine pi by 2, we will get the maximum value. Again, sine pi, it is 0. Okay, so sine 3 pi by 2, it is negative value, and sine 2 pi, again it is 0. Okay, so we will represent, suppose this axis, that is a vertical axis, we take this displacement as a x. Okay, do not get confused with the y-axis. We are assuming the vertical axis as a displacement, and displacement generally it is represented as a x. Okay, so this x value, that is a displacement of that mass, by equation we can write this as a x is equal to a sine omega t. Okay, so what is this omega t? So omega t is nothing but this angle. Okay, so we can take x-axis as a time axis, or we can take this x-axis as a omega t. Okay, so omega t, it is the angle. So when we compare this oscillatory motion with the rotational motion, so one complete oscillation, that is from this point up to this point. Okay, so it will represent the angle of 2 pi radian. So what is 2 pi radian? So it is nothing but one complete revolution. Okay, that means if any particle, so take this particle as a p, okay, it is revolving on the circumference of this circle. Okay, so if you observe in the side view for the same particle, just imagine you are observing from the side view. Okay, then the motion of this particle, it will just appear as a oscillatory motion. It is moving in the upward direction, then it is moving in the downward direction. Okay, so from the side view, actual rotatory motion is appearing as an oscillatory motion. Okay, so this is the analogy between the rotational motion and the reciprocating motion. So basically the oscillation, it is similar to the rotation of a particle on the circumference of circle, and therefore the 2 pi radian, it is corresponding to one wave, okay, or one cycle. And this angle, so what is omega t? Where does it come from? So omega means what? It is the angular speed for this particle p, which is moving on the circumference. Okay, so at any instant, suppose particle is at p1 position and it moves to the p2 position. Okay, so this small interval, it is taken as the angular change, so that is a theta. Okay, and theta, this is written as a omega t. Okay, so here the angle, actual equation is x is equal to a sine theta. Okay, and this theta, this is nothing but the omega t. So what is, why it is a sine theta? Suppose the particle, it starts the motion from this point, it moves to this location. Okay, so if you observe from the left side, then vertical displacement of that particle with respect to this mean line, so we can take this as a x. X means any displacement from mean position up to the maximum point. Okay, So if you construct here a right angle, okay, then the radius of this circle is a. This is the angle theta. So this vertical side we can take as a sin theta. Okay, so that is nothing but the x value. Okay, and this theta we can write in terms of the angular speed. Okay, so what is omega? So basic equation for the angular speed, it is change in angle d theta upon dt. Okay, so we can simply write this as a theta upon t, and theta is nothing but the omega t. Okay, and therefore we write this equation as x is equal to a sine omega t. Okay, where omega is the angular speed. So if we are considering the rotational motion for a particle, then we can take omega as angular speed. And if we are considering the vibration, that is only vertical motion, then we consider omega as an angular frequency. Unit is same. So omega is the angular speed. And also we take omega as an angular frequency. Okay. So unit is radian per second. So this is the relation between the rotational motion and the oscillatory motion. So you have to remember, one complete rotation is nothing but the one cycle or one oscillation. Okay, so this is our basic equation for the displacement for the simple harmonic motion. X is equal to a sine omega t. Okay, from this equation we will calculate the velocity of the particle which performs the simple harmonic motion and the acceleration of the particle. Okay, so velocity, if we differentiate the displacement, we will get the velocity. So it is dx by dt. Okay, and in vibration, we use velocity as a x dot. Okay, so you should remember, if there is a x dot or there is a y dot, z dot. Okay, so all these terms they will represent only velocity. Okay, and x double dot, y double dot, z double dot, these are the accelerations. So velocity means it is a first differentiation with respect to time. So you should remember x dot means this is dx by dt. Okay, and if there is a x double dot, then this is a second differentiation. So it is d square x upon dt square. Okay, so velocity is dx by dt, that is nothing but the x dot. So it is, so you can differentiate a sine omega t, so it will become cos omega t into omega. So finally you will get a omega cos omega t, and we can write this in terms of sine value. So it is a omega sine omega t plus pi by 2, because cos is the leading with respect to sine by pi by 2. So a omega sine omega t plus pi by 2. Okay, and acceleration, again differentiate this dx by dt with respect to d by dt. So it is d square x upon dt square, that will become x double dot. Okay, so it will become minus a omega square, and cos omega is minus sine omega t into omega. So it is minus a omega square sine omega t. Okay, so x double dot is, this is minus a omega square sine omega t. You can take a omega, a sine omega t separate, and you can replace this by x. Okay, so we can write this minus omega square, this a sine omega t from first equation. This is the x value. Okay, so it is minus omega square x. This is nothing but x double dot. Okay, so we will get the equation x double dot, this is equal to minus omega square x, and then just take this term on the right side, left side. So it is x double dot plus omega square x, this is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the equation. This is called as a fundamental equation of this simple harmonic motion. So whenever we will calculate the natural frequency of any given system by using the mathematical way or analytical method, then we will compare that equation with this equation only. Okay, because all the system for the free vibration, they performs the simple harmonic motion only. Okay, and therefore this is the basic equation for the reference. So this is called as the fundamental equation of simple harmonic motion. So in this equation, this omega value, it represents the frequency of oscillation. Okay, and this frequency, this is called as a natural frequency. So natural frequency, this concept, it is used in the free vibration. Free vibration means what? Only at the initial condition, we give some force. Okay, this is called as excitation force. And after that, we release the force and system vibrates by its own. That is called as a freely. And this is called as a free vibration. Okay. For the free vibration, we assume that there is no resistance in the system or no damping in the system. System will vibrate with the same amplitude continuously. Okay. And for such vibration, if you plot the displacement versus time or displacement versus angle omega t, its waveform will be a simple harmonic waveform. Okay, with the constant amplitude. So you can note down this equation: x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0, and omega is the frequency that is called as a natural frequency. Okay. So we will use both the frequencies, one frequency in hertz and frequency in radian per second. Okay. So what is the relation? So this relation is 1 revolution. This is equal to 360 degree or 2 pi radian. And this 1 revolution is corresponding to 1 oscillation. Okay. So this is the circular motion for the particle P. And just compare this motion with the oscillatory motion. So take just spring mass system. Okay. So this is the amplitude, that is the maximum displacement of this mass. Suppose the particle is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. That means initially particle is moving in the upward direction. So consider mass is moving in the upward direction. Okay. So if the particle performs 1 complete revolution, this mass will also perform 1 complete oscillation. Okay. So 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radian and 1 revolution is equal to 1 oscillation. So frequency means what? Number of oscillations per second or per unit time. Okay. So it is 1 upon second, that is nothing but the hertz. So this is frequency in hertz. So sometimes hertz is written as revolutions per second, or it is given as a RPS. So sometimes speed is given as a RPS. So that RPS is nothing but the hertz value. Okay. Frequency in radian per second, this is equal to frequency in hertz into 2 pi. Okay. So if you have the frequency in hertz and if you want to convert that into rad per second, then just multiply it by the 2 pi radian. So for time being, if you have the frequency n, this is in hertz as a 10 hertz or 10 oscillations per second. And if you want to find out the omega value, which is in rad per second, so your formula will be 2 pi radian into number of oscillations per second. So this will be 20 pi rad per second. Okay. So this is the conversion. We should remember this formula. Omega is equal to 2 pi into frequency in hertz. So this is the conversion formula. So here you can take the example. A tuning fork is vibrating at the frequency of 20 hertz. And if you want the frequency in rad per second, so this is 20 into 2 pi rad per second. Okay. So an engine shaft is running at a 3000 RPM. So this is the frequency in RPM. or you can take this as an angular speed. Okay. What is the frequency of the piston which is reciprocating in hertz and in rad per second? Okay. So this is the piston which is reciprocating. Okay. So this piston is connected to the crankshaft. Okay. So here crankshaft is rotating. So its speed is given. So this speed is capital N, that is equal to 3000 RPM. Okay. So from this 3000 RPM, we have to find out what is the frequency of oscillation, frequency of the piston which is reciprocating in hertz and in rad per second. Okay. So one complete revolution of this crankshaft, so it is corresponding to one oscillation of this piston. So shaft speed, this is 3000 RPM, revolutions per minute. You can convert this into revolutions per second. So that will be the frequency in hertz. So just divide this by 60. So it is 50 revolutions per second. So what is revolutions per second? It is nothing but the hertz value. Okay. So this is the small n frequency. To find out the frequency in rad per second, use the same formula. Omega is equal to 2 pi into n. So this is 2 pi into n, that is 50 into 2 pi. So 100 pi, this is the frequency in rad per second. Okay. So this is how you can calculate the frequency of the piston in hertz and rad per second from the frequency of the crankshaft. So this is second example. A tuning fork which performs the 10 oscillations in 15 seconds. What is the time period and frequency in hertz? Okay. So can you give this answer? Yes, you can try. You have to find out the time period and you have to find out the frequency in rad per second. So when it is a frequency in rad per second, you should use the notation as omega.